What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. Today we're going to be using the Mega Gyarados team once again with Mega Gyarados, Tapu Koko, Salazzle, Landis, Amoonguss, and Aegislash. Let's get started. So, if you haven't checked out the previous episode, I highly recommend go checking it out. As always, we had a pretty intense game last episode. And yeah, let's see if we can get some more games. Hopefully some really good ones, because I really like games like that where it's getting really down to the wire. But anyway, as always, check out the previous episode if you haven't already. And of course, I don't think I mentioned this, but if you haven't checked out my side series for the Ultra Sinnoh Classic, it should be currently uploading on YouTube. So if you are interested in singles, should be a fun thing, especially since it is taking over singles battle spot for this week. So highly recommend go check it out. Of course, singles battle spot will resume next week after the Ultra Sinnoh Classic is done. But we got Owen as our first opponent from Japan's 1464 rating, but a still very solid team regardless. So I can't take this lightly. Landorus variants, Celesteela, Tapu Fini, Cresselia, the Zapdos, and the Charizard. So I wonder if it's Charizard Y or Charizard X. I could see either, to be honest. I mean, they both fit on my opponent's team, to be honest. Probably Charizard Y a bit more, because usually it's better on the combinations my opponent has, but I could definitely see Charizard X as well. Scarf Landorus can do a lot of work. I think Scarf Landorus plus Koko is actually a really solid lead for me. Salazzle could also be a solid lead here. I actually really do like Salazzle in this matchup. I think Salazzle, Landis variant, Tapu Koko, and Gyarados. The problem is I'm gonna hate dealing with the Landorus. Landorus is always an annoying Pokemon, and unfortunately Salazzle is 4 times weak to Earthquake, so that is gonna be, yeah, annoying to deal with. So I think the lead I want to go is Tapu Koko Landorus. Maybe Tapu Koko Salazzle. No, I'm honestly thinking Salazzle Landorus because it covers Landorus Zapdos lead, which I could definitely see from my opponent. Yeah, I think that's fine. Have Gyarados, Koko in the back. We'll see how this goes, because this is gonna be, I honestly am not sure about this matchup. Like, the Landorus depends on the item specifically, which is why I think leading my own Landorus is smart, because I get to figure out if it's Scarf Landorus, because I do run slow Scarf Landorus on this team, because I like the bulk that Landorus can provide. It makes it easier to switch into, and I like Landorus as a switch in because I don't have many with this team. Well, I have Amoonguss and Aegislash as well. But Salazzle Landorus is going to lead for my side as we see Tapu Fini and Zapdos. So this is actually pretty ideal here. I could probably just fire off a Rock Slide and a Taunt into the Zapdos. I could also go for the Pozinium Z into Fini, but it depends. Do you risk your Fini turn 1? It could be Specs Fini too, so I gotta be cautious of that. But honestly, what's worse for me? Fini protecting, you go for Tailwind, or Fini attacking, you also going for Tailwind. I should be able to live any Muddy Water as long as I don't. Honestly, I would have liked a lead of my Koko here, but I'm gonna Taunt and Rock Slide, or I could just fake out Rock Slide. I'm just not sure if Rock Slide will be a 2 KO, and I could see Landorus switching in next turn, and then I'd be forced to switch out my Salazzle, but I'm just going to Rock Slide here. I think it's honestly a fine play, as Fini protects. Okay. So kind of what I expected. I kind of wish I taunted now, because Tailwind is probably the obvious play from my opponent, and honestly, it wasn't Misty Seed Zapdos, so it could be like a Citrus Berry. If it is Citrus Berry, that could be a problem. Oh, but that Rock Slide does a lot more than I expected. So, kind of wish I had Encore now on Salazzle. But even if Landorus switches in, it's going to switch into a Pozinium Z and a Rock Slide. So I'm going to get some chip on no matter what my opponent decides to do here. And I'm pretty sure Rock Slide will put this Fini in range of Pozinium Z. Landorus is definitely a switch I can see from the Fini. But honestly, I think damage on Landorus is also pretty good in this matchup, so I'll take it. And then also Landorus plus... Like, Landorus plus Zapdos can't do too much to my own Landorus, as Landorus is going to switch in for the other slot. Okay. That's interesting. So, Fini is probably going down here, yeah. Oh, come on. Well, please tell me Pozinium Z KOs. Oh, that could be bad. I might have needed a little bit of chip. Let's see, Salazzle, can you KO a Tapu Fini? Because that would be amazing if you could, to be honest. So I wanted the Rock Slide chip, which is why Rock Slide was probably my best move. Not only it hit Zapdos for big damage, it was chip for Fini for the Poisonium Z range. But who knows, maybe it's not? Wow. Salazzle putting in some work. Okay. So Salazzle actually is able to knock out the Tapu Fini. Excellent. Yeah, that's really solid for me. I think my opponent expected maybe a Gyarados lead with maybe a Moongus. Well, then again, those two Pokemon couldn't really do much to Gyarados plus a Moongus. Maybe expected the Gyarados though as a hard lead. Zapdos is going to come out. Honestly, are you going to click Rock Slide or are you going to click Earthquake? If you click Rock Slide, I want to go out into my Coco. If you click Earthquake, I want to go out into Landorus. Since Coco... Honestly, I feel like Coco is expendable here because I'd rather not get crit by a Rock Slide with Gyarados. So I'd rather just Rock Slide here. Earthquake's not gonna KO Tapu Koko? Well, it could. I think I made... Did I make it a roll? No, I think I made it so I live Adamant Earthquake from Landorus Variant, which takes a lot of investment. So let us see. Not Scarf Landorus, it looks like. I do get a Rock Slide off. Does this KO the Zapdos? That'd be really nice. Ugh, barely a sliver. Tailwind does go up, which is bad for me. Let's see what the Landorus decides to go for. Probably a Rock Slide. Oh, it is an Earthquake. Okay. So I could have switched into Gyarados there, but I should survive with my Coco. Oh, I don't. So... Oh, it's a crit. If it's Choice Banded, I would have liked to confirm that. Gyarados is to play. I can Mega Evolve and click Waterfall, I think. Yeah, Mega Evolve, click Waterfall sounds like the most solid plan, and... But then Charizard. I'm trying to think, because Zapdos... I mean, you want to assume you Roost here, right? We also haven't seen a Z move, so it could be Z move Zapdos. Oh, if it's Z move Zapdos, that could be bad. If it's HP Ice, that could also be bad. Is it better to Mega Evolve Protect here? Or is it better to Rock Slide? I'm trying to think about my best potential option. I feel like it is just to Mega Evolve Protect. Because, honestly, the Rock Slide did so much where I think it is Z-Move. And Zapdos looks like it would be the most common Z-Move user on this team. Unless it's a Landorus variant. So, I will Rock Slide here. But the Zapdos could be carrying HP Ice. But HP Ice is not going to KO me. So, that's a good thing. But HP Ice and a Rock Slide might. So, we're going to figure out right here what my opponent has. I do live a Solar Beam, which is a good part. With Mega Gyarados, so Protect with Gyarados as a Z-move does come out. It is going to be that Gable Havoc, so I do call it correctly. Nice. Okay. So that's going to go out into my Gyarados, but I do have to avoid a potential Rock Slide flinch from Landorus, and I do need to connect a Rock Slide here onto the Zapdos. So Gigavolt Havoc going to come out. It will target down my Gyarados slot. And yeah, I had to Mega Evolve, so I didn't, you know, probably go down to Gigavolt Havoc, because I probably would have. Here comes the Rock Slides. This is not going to be a fun time. How much is it going to do? Okay, nice. And we connect. Okay, great. So we get a Rock Slide off. Even if I miss, maybe it would put me in a better position, to be honest. Because one, he's probably forced to Thunderbolt the Gyarados, and a Rock Slide again, and if he does that, like I get a Rock Slide off and I stall out a turn of Tailwind, and then my Salazzle could come in for free. But now we're gonna have a bit of a tougher time as the Charizard comes out. So I think the play is always to crunch and Rock Slide. You're forced to probably Solar Beam here. The only way I don't see you do that is if you have Superpower on the Landorus. I have to predict that, but Superpower plus Heat Wave might knock out Salazzle. I actually think I'm in a game-losing position here, no matter what. I would have to hope I live a Heat Wave with Landorus. And if it's Flamethrower or Superpower, that could be different. But then again, Superpower's at -1. So I don't think it would KO Gyarados by any stretch of the imagination. So I might still be in this game. I do confirm it's not Scarf Landorus. I do need a Rock Slide on Charizard, at least. I might need it also on Landers. Also, this is Charizard X. I guess that makes the game a lot more interesting, I think. If it was Charizard X, it makes things a lot more interesting. But it is Charizard Y, okay. So Charizard Y gonna Mega Evolve. Actually, does Crunch do more or Waterfall into a Sun? Waterfall 2. I think it's the same damage actually, so it doesn't really matter. And I also still have to dodge Rock Slide if my opponent decides to go for that. Overheat actually coming out, okay. Into Landers. Do you have Superpower? I guess you have Superpower. You KO me though. No, you just Rock Slide. Okay, that is not what I anticipated this turn to how this turn was going to happen at all. I do get a Crunch off. That's really big here. If this knocks out Landers, I'm in a fantastic position. Beautiful. Because now I get Salazzle in, and now I can Fake Out. Yeah, so Overheat's an interesting play. Maybe my opponent thought I was... Well, then again, did I reveal I was Scarf? Maybe he's like Mod Zapdos, so he might have thought I was Jolly Landers, because my damage output probably is kind of similar to Jolly. Because I'm not max attack. Dragon Dance and Fake Out is a very safe play here. Then I can Crunch Sludge Bomb, and that's going to be the game. So yeah, interesting to choose Rock Slide as we see Protect. Completely okay. But this stalls out the Tailwind. Yeah, so unless he was able to get a double knockout, which honestly would have been extremely difficult unless... Maybe Heat Wave Superpower would have done it. I'm not sure. I do run a bit of bulk on the Lander, so maybe I would have been able to survive a Heat Wave. But I think that's what my opponent would have had to go for. The Overheat was interesting, but maybe was thinking I was a Soft Vest Landers and wanted to guarantee that knockout. And hoped for a flinch, I guess. So I get to Crunch and Sludge Bomb here. And yeah, that should be the game. So Salazzle putting in some work. Gyarados putting in some work in the late game. Does Crunch KO Charizard at +1? No, it doesn't. But Sludge Bomb does finish it off. And Salazzle getting some pretty big knockouts on the Feeny and the Charizard, which were pretty significant. I needed to deny Tailwind if possible. I honestly didn't expect the survival from Zapdos. So my opponent actually switched out the Feeny into Landers instead. Because it probably was Assault Vest because the Landers did switch up moves. Because it was Z-move Zapdos. I'm really glad because I was honestly thinking maybe going for a Dragon Dance because I knew I would live like a Thunderbolt plus Rock Slide or Earthquake, and then I would be able to get like maybe get Salazzle in, be able to Fake Out. But then I realized, oh wait, I should pay attention to Z-move. So my opponent was the Electrum Z, like I did suspect. And yeah, was luckily able to catch that because honestly, if I made the play I was originally going to go for in Dragon Dance there on the Electrum Z turn, it could have been really, really ugly. Like, it could have been really ugly. But luckily, I did figure it out just in time because I was like, what's the worst case scenario? And the Electrum Z definitely did pop into my mind. So, yeah. Good, too, because I really, really was close. Of course, the Tapu Koko switch didn't work out. But I feel like hindsight's 2020. I needed Gyarados healthy to take on Charizard. So I felt like Koko was the most expendable there. Although Koko could have been great late game if I was able to get an Electro Web off. But then again, my opponent might have just clicked Overheat into that Tapu Koko slot. So again, hindsight's 2020. But let's see. For our second opponent of today is going to be someone from Brazil. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, but we see the team of Charizard, Landorus, Cresselia, Snorlax, Togedemaru, and Tapu Fini. And this team actually got top 4 at the most recent North American Regional, which was Collinsville, I believe. Was it Collinsville, Charlotte? I'm pretty sure Charlotte's the one that's coming up soon in March. But this was run by Leonard Kraft. It's Charizard Y. You got Super Fang, Togedemaru. You got Psychium Z on the Cresselia, a Berry Snorlax, Tapu Fini with Icy Wind, and then I believe it was AV Landers. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Togedemaru is definitely a bit of a problem. Yeah, Togedemaru is a bit of a problem, but I do have my Salazzle here. My Salazzle is going to be fun in this matchup. The question to me is it worth bringing Koko? Because I'm honestly assuming it's not worth bringing Koko in this matchup. Snorlax again is going to be an issue too. I'm honestly thinking Salazzle, Landorus as the lead because I can U-turn pretty safely. Amoonguss plus Gyarados in the back. Honestly, there are a lot of leads my opponent could have. I think Landorus Feeny would be one of them. I could see Charizard, Pokemon. I could see like Crest maybe leading. So let's figure out what my opponent's gonna do. What would you do if you're my opponent? Let's see. I would probably lead Feeny plus Landorus. I think it's a really solid lead against my team. However, we'll find out. Going to be Charizard top of Feeny actually, so honestly, that's a lot better. Am I man enough to go for a... Honestly, I have a very free Rock Slide. Okay. I kind of want to predict turn 1, and that's probably not the best idea. So what I could see here is Charizard switching out on Landorus. I could see Feeny switching out on Landorus. I could see Icy Wind Protect. More unlikely because I do have Fake Out Pressure. Or honestly, I don't think Charizard does anything but Protect or Switch Out though. So I kind of want to Flamethrower one of the slots. I think if I'm Flamethrowing a slot, it would be the... Honestly, I think you would switch in for the Charizard. And now I'm going to Rock Slide. Rock Slide Flamethrower. Charizard slot. Phoenix going to withdraw. Is that Landorus? Token of Maru. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of fine. Yeah, that's kind of fine actually. Because I break Togedemaru's Focus Sash. Yes, okay. So then I can get a knock on Togedemaru, Flamethrower that slot, and Rock Slide again. The problem is I'm going to be taking a lot of damage with my Landorus. If not, it may be a KO, but I think you need to have... I think you have to overheat, honestly. Another play I could do is Taunt, just in case the Charizard has Tailwind, because I honestly don't remember if it was Tailwind. I think he was Overheat. But honestly, I don't care if Togedemaru stays on the field, right? I really don't. It doesn't do much to my team. I'm going to Rock Slide and Taunt the Charizard slot. So we're going to see the Charizard withdraw into Landorus. Okay. So I think my opponent's making a safe play because you don't know if I have Encore on the Salazzle. So that's actually a really solid play on my opponent's part. Which I don't mind, but this is going to be interesting. Fake Out going to go out into the Salazzle? Yeah. I will get a Rock Slide off, get a bit more chip on these Pokemon. And honestly, since my Landorus isn't really threatened, and I don't want my opponent to Zing Zap on catching my Gyarados as a switch-in, because I could see you Zing Zapping the Landorus slot, to be honest. I'm going to go hard on Mungus, and I'm just going to Rock Slide again. One, getting the chip on Landorus is always nice, because this allows me to get range of Waterfall or Crunch when I get my Dragon Dances up. Two, I like this position because Amoonguss can probably just sport a Landorus slot because my opponent really doesn't have much for it, as Togedemaru is actually going to withdraw into Feeny most likely. Yeah, okay. So Gyarados is looking like a very safe switch in next turn, and I will get a Rock Slide off, and I'm just chipping away at my opponent's team right now. Getting the Pokemon in range where I need it to be, as Rock Slide is going to come out and target down my Pokemon. Yeah, not going to do too much. Yeah, that honestly wasn't much damage. I kind of want to clear Smog. Would you say with Landorus, it doesn't really do much? I feel like you want the Intimidate more. To be honest, I'm going to clear Smog to Feeny. Or I could see Feeny withdrawing too. But I could see Icy Wind here. Do I expect Feeny to switch out? Very likely. You know what? Since it's Feeny, I don't think was Calm Mind. I think a Spore is just a safe play into the Feeny. And I will go hard Gyarados, because I honestly don't expect Landorus to switch in. I see Togedemaru coming out. As Landorus will withdraw and retreat into Gyarados, which does fire off an Intimidate if the Landorus decides to stay in, but I kind of don't see it staying in to take a Spore potentially from my Amoonguss. Unless you have Taunt on Feeny, but that would be unlikely. Oh wow, you do stay in. Get a Rock Slide off, okay. Bit of chip on the Gyarados. I see Wind probably coming out. Yep. Ooh, Gyarados avoids, which is nice. Okay. So I spored a Feeny slot because I'm expecting the Charizard, because I didn't want Charizard Togedemaru to get a free call, because maybe my opponent was like, oh, I'm never risking Charizard. Which, actually, now that I think about it, makes a lot more sense. Okay, if you're my opponent, I think you don't Rock Slide again. I think I'm gonna Clear Smog the Feeny, get a bit of chip. Or I could Spore the Feeny slot again. Although I think you're gonna Icy Wind and go on a Togedemaru, to be honest. I think the play is to Clear Smog the Feeny. And just Waterfall the Lander slot. Try to get as much damage as possible. And I don't want a Mega Ball because Intimidate could be useful for dealing with the Landers later in the game, as Togedemaru does come out. So nice, I get a Waterfall off into Togedemaru, bit of chip. Oh, I actually do KO it. Wow, that's really big. Okay. Icy Wind gonna come out, which is fine. So I could have Mega Evolved there, but again, I wanted the Intimidate for later in the game. Although now we're gonna have a fun time because the Charizard's gonna get a free switch in. Although I did put the Feeny in range of Sludge Bomb, so I don't have to go for Posinium Z on that. If I weaken Charizard enough, I can go for the Posinium Z into that slot. So honestly, my position's not looking bad at all here. Icy Wind is scary to deal with. You definitely send out Charizard here. Landers is not a good call. Yep. Charizard comes out. Honestly, I'm thinking of Rage Powdering Crunch here. Is there a play that allows me to take on these Pokemon without losing my Gyarados? I don't see one at the moment. It'd be hard to get like a free double switch in. I don't know if we Solar Beam or not though. You know what? I'm gonna Spore and I'm gonna Crunch. Or maybe just Waterfall in regular form is better. Yeah, I'm gonna Waterfall in regular form. As we're gonna see Feeny switch out into Landers. Okay. That's fine. Because I'm sacking Amoonguss and my Gyarados here because I got the Feeny in range I needed to be anyway for my Sludge Bomb. I just gotta figure out how to... Honestly, if Flamethrower in the Sun plus Rock Slide gets this Landers, I'm in a golden position. I'm in an absolutely golden position. So... Route's gonna activate Protect, actually. I should support the Lander slot. Is this bad though? Not really. Can't I just sack Amoonguss and Protect with Gyarados? Another play I could do is sack Landers here, but I think Landers is a good endgame. So I think I'm just gonna Spore the... Spore the Landers is his best play and Protect. Yeah, I like this. Although maybe I could have just sacked both my Pokemon here because it would have actually been great for me as Tailwind's gonna come out. Okay. If you Earthquake here, you... Good play. Oh, it's a Z move. It's Groundium. Oh, was not expecting Groundium. Oh, that's big. Oh, that's big. That's a big turn for my opponent. That is pretty big. Alright. I get to go, I think Landers here. Oh, that was such a good play on my opponent's part. I did not expect... I expected Tailwind earlier in the game, but since my opponent didn't go for it, I felt like maybe you don't have it. I guess I could switch out Amoonguss and Landers, but that's risky, right? Because Heat Wave and either Rock Slide or Superpower could have came out. Honestly, I think Rock Slide. Oh. That hurt a lot. I think I'm going to Mega Evolve. I'm at -1, right? Yeah, I'm at -1, so I don't KO the Landers. Ooh, this is a tough position. I'm going to Dragon Dance. Ooh, really solidly played from my opponent here. Oh, wait, it was not even Zing Zap on the Togedemaru. Well, then again, my opponent changed the set, so I had no way to tell, and I was going to make a safe play anyway. So, Heat Wave going to come out. This is Knockout Landers, probably in combination with Rock Slide guaranteed, but yeah, neutral, I survive. Rock Slide does connect with both. Gyarados does survive though. Okay. You get a Dragon Dance up. I need to get a Dragon Dance so I can KO the Landers, but this is still pretty shaky of a position. Yeah, you Earthquake Solar Beam here. I can't do anything. Let me see. Is there anything I can do? How many times of Sun are left? 2. So your probably last move is Solar Beam. I'll say if you're my opponent, you're gonna click Solar Beam. Well, it doesn't matter. If I lose to Salazzle, I lose the game anyway. Yeah, there's not much I can do. Pretty sure my opponent has in the back. You Earthquake Solar Beam here. There's nothing I can do. Fake out. Overheat. Oh, it's not even a grass move. Wow. That's really interesting. Okay. I'd have to hope that I outspeed the Landers and get a Flamethrower off, and even then I don't think I can win because I would need like Pazinium Z to crit Charizard still. Yeah, like this was not looking that great. So really nice calls from my opponent. I felt like if I needed a chance, I needed to spore the Feeny slot. And maybe I should have. I just didn't expect aggressive switch in the Landers. And they protect. If I did spore the Landers, I was actually in a fantastic position because that probably just allowed me to Dragon Dance up against my opponent and click Spore because that got my Landers free as a switch. And if you decide to, well, you can't KO Charizard because you don't have Solar Beam. A really solidly played for my opponent though. Overheat, and then Earthquake. I don't know if I outspeed, but no, Earthquake gonna KO my Salazzle. So very well played for my opponent. If I needed anything, I needed to spore the Feeny slot. Because if I was able to spore the Feeny slot, or maybe I should have made my original play and tried to sack both of them, but at that turn it wouldn't worked out because he wasn't going to sack. Well, it didn't look like he was going to get a double KO because he decided to Tectonic Rage my Amoonguss. I could have also maybe potentially went for a switching a Landers there for the Rock Slide, but then again, I was still in an awkward position, I feel like, because you could Rock Slide Heat Wave, that's going to do a lot. My Gyarados is a -1, you can't pick up a knockout. Maybe what I had to do there was crunch the Landers. Yeah, I think I actually had to crunch the Landers instead of Dragon Dancing and hope for a crit, because if I do get it, maybe I do have a chance to win, because maybe you don't double up the Salazzle, maybe you target down the Gyarados with an Overheat, and then you Muddy Water, and I'm able to knock out the Feeny. Maybe I live a -4 attack from the Charizard, even after the Muddy Water in Sun. And then Pazinium Z into Sludge Bomb. I don't know. Maybe those could have been different plays. I'm like looking at all the different options. Definitely, I think I shouldn't have double targeted the Charizard because it was risky. I just wanted to spore there because I felt like, okay, if you Solar Beam the Gyarados and Rock Slide, I'm able to get a, like, no matter what you do, you have to double up a Pokemon in order to knock it out, unless you Heat Wave Rock Slide, I guess. But honestly, I was fine if you go for Heat Wave Rock Slide, because again, I was gonna get my Landis Fairy in, get Salazzle in, and then I have like a lot of positioning because I think I would have to call a switch. Because that was my original game plan. Of course, it didn't work out because my opponent didn't have a Solar Beam as an option. But maybe, well, then again, maybe Rock Slide would KO. But like the position I wanted to get Salazzle Landers in, because one, Rock Slide was going to KO threaten the Charizard, and I get Salazzle in, which doesn't fake out on the Landers slot. And most likely, you need Landers healthy, so you're probably going to switch on to Feeny. I think I have to make the call of do you switch out Feeny or not, because I either Flamethrower or a Sludge Bomb. Or I could fake out the slot if I expect Landers to stay in. But I want to KO the Feeny, Rock Slide, and then his Landers comes in. Then I want to Flamethrower, Rock Slide, and probably just pick up that knockout. And that's what I was hoping for this entire game. But didn't work out the way I wanted to. But I hope everyone saw what kind of end game I was going for. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. If you did, please leave a like down below, show some support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below. My social medias, all that good stuff will be linked in the description down below. Check out the side series on the channel, including the Ultra Sinnoh Classic, which is going on right now. Well, being uploaded for the week. But yeah, go check that out. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to leave a comment down below because I do enjoy reading them. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you around in another video. Have a great day, people. See you soon.